We are rolling. What is going on, everyone? I hope that you all doing well out there, staying safe, and having a good one. Welcome to Clarence Loves Comics. I am Clarence, of course, and I love comics, and I hope you do too. Uh, today's video is going to be my first comic book haul video. My first comic book haul video on the new channel, of course. And if you're new to comic book YouTube, essentially a haul video is where I show off a number of different purchases that I made. The purchases could have been made, throughout the days, throughout the weeks, months, wherever the case may be. In this particular case, this haul video will start, or this haul video, as far as the timeline for the books I got, would start in the fall of 2023 and end around 2024, or early 2024. So fall of last year to the winter of this year. And so started purchasing some of these. But matter of fact, I purchased a couple of these books before then. But for the sake of this video, we'll say that I started purchasing these particular books around the fall of last year, going into early this year. And so without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. These are the first books I'm going to show off to you. This is actually a 3-book set. So this is the first one right here. This is called Paper Girls. This series was written by Brian K. Vaughan, and the artwork was done by Cliff Chang. This is Volume 1. This is a deluxe edition, of course, so this is what Volume 1 looks like. And then here is Volume 2. And then here is Volume 3. Ooh, excuse me. I got him sitting on my lap, that's why. So here's Volume 3. And then this is what they all look like together. As you can tell, this is what deluxe editions look like in the from Image Comics, because this book was published by Image, and this is what all 3 of them look like together on the shelves. So really cool, really nice. They all stand out uniformly, and they all have a nice color palette to it, or color pattern to it. And so this is books that I purchased, like I said, sometime last year. I bought these from OPB, Organic Price Books. They had a sale going on where some of these books were like Image titles sometime last year, I think. And so I ended up picking up all 3 of these during that sale. This is a series that I was looking forward to, that I've been looking forward to reading for a very long time now. So I'm happy to have this in the collection, and hopefully I hope to start reading this series really soon, and hopefully get you guys out a review. The next book is on my list is a book that actually came out early this year. I want to say it came out in either January or February. But this is Strange Adventures. This is by Tom King, Mitch Gerard, and Evan Shanner, or Doc Shanner, as he's known. But this book right here, this collects the entire series. This series was 12 issues, and this is by, or was published by DC Comics. It was published under their Black Label line, which Black Label is where creators get a chance to write stories that are much more mature. It deals with a lot more mature and darker subjects compared to their regular DC line. So essentially Black Label is what Vertigo used to be. So like Vertigo Comics, of course, you had Sandman, Animal Man, Doom Patrol, all those stories that were under the Vertigo line. Well, now a lot of those titles, if they're being reprinted, would be reprinted under Black Label. And so that's what this is under. I heard a lot of great things about this series. I heard that this was pretty good, and as somebody who's never read a whole lot of Adam Strange, to be honest with you, I've read them in some titles here and there, particularly and like when he's made appearances in other books. So like recently I did a review on DC The New Frontier, which you can check that video out when you get a chance. I'll leave a link above, or annotation or so should pop up. But I read that story, loved it, one of my favorite comic books of all time. and Adam Strange makes an appearance in that book, and so that's one of the times I read him. I read him in some other Justice League titles that I had read. I think when what was his name, Brad Meltzer wrote Justice League of America in the early 2000s. I want to say that Adam Strange made an appearance in that as well. It's been a while since I read that. But overall, Adam Strange is a much more obscure character, and so because of that, I've always kind of found him to be intriguing, especially because he has ties to like space and stuff like that. And so this is definitely a series I'm very much looking forward to. I want to say I got this book from, I got this from InStockTrades, because when it came out during release week, it was on sale for 50% off, and so I went ahead and jumped on it, and definitely looking forward to reading this book and doing a review on it, hopefully pretty soon, because this looks like a pretty quick, fast-paced read. Again, I haven't read this story before, but it seems to be a quick read. And so this is definitely something on my list. And plus, too, I saw pages of the artwork, and the artwork looks really good. And so that's another reason why I purchased this as well. This is a deluxe edition. This book is also available in standard size hardcover and trade paperbacks. Trade paperback. This is the deluxe edition, and so I was looking forward to this and happy because I wanted to see that Mitch Gerard's oversized artwork. Something tells me they're going to come out with an absolute for this, and when they do, I might have to get that absolute. I'm not going to hold you, but for now, I'm sticking with the deluxe edition. But that's book number 4. This is Hip Hop Family Tree. The Hip Hop Family Tree Omnibus, to be exact. And this is the series that I was setting up for, that I was just talking about a few moments ago. This was available they released it in paperbacks and trade paperbacks, but they were treasury editions, which treasury size trade paperbacks are a little bit taller and wider than your standard size trade paperbacks. They're almost like magazine size. If you know, with magazines, they're kind of thick and wide or what have you, or they're wide, and long and tall, what have you. And they released it in that, but they also released those same treasury editions in box sets. It was 2 box sets, 2 box sets, and I was looking at them. I was hoping to pick them up, but never was able to. And now I'm happy because they came out with it in this oversized omnibus edition. This was written by Ed Piskor, and Ed Piskor is an independent comic book creator. Many of you probably are familiar with him because he's also did another story called X-Men Grand Design, which he did in a similar format. However, I believe this came before he did X-Men Grand Design, if I'm not mistaken. This is one of those stories that I hear a lot of really good things about. Also, too, Ed Piskor runs a YouTube channel called Comic Book Kayfabe that he runs with Jim Rugg, who's also an independent comic book creator as well. So if you're a fan of if you're a fan of cartoonist kayfabe, that's what it is. Did I say comic book kayfabe? My apologies if I said comic book kayfabe. I meant cartoonist kayfabe. That's the channel he runs with another creator named Jim Rugg. And so if you're familiar with Ed Piskor through his YouTube channel or through X-Men Grand Design, this is some of his earlier work, and many consider this to be some of his best work. Heard a lot of great things about it, and IST had it for like 55% off, and I finally jumped on it and grabbed it, and definitely can't wait to jump into this book because this is something that I've been wanting to read for quite a long time. And as you can see right here, you have DJ Grandmaster Flash on the cover, and so yeah, man, definitely can't wait to jump into this book. Can't wait to dive into it, and looking forward to reading Hip Hop Family Tree. And now getting into some more books. the Marvel Omnibus section. This right here is a book that I picked up around, when did I pick this up? I want to say I picked this up around maybe the summertime, maybe summer, going into the fall, what have you. But this is Low-Key God of Stories Omnibus. And this book right here is a book that I've been, since it was announced, I was looking forward to. Loki is a character that I've been very interested in for a very long time now, and ever since seeing him in the MCU, I've been interested in the character. I've enjoyed his interpretation in the MCU, who of course is portrayed by Tom Hiddleston. Tom Hiddleston portrays Loki in the MCU, and loved his interpretation, or loved the character, what have you, and loved Hiddleston's portrayal of Loki in the MCU, especially in Loki Season 1. Love Loki Season 1. Gotta catch up on Season 2, which I will very soon. But this is a book that I've been looking forward to since they announced it, since it was announced for release. And this right here essentially collects a number of different stories, low-key stories. It collects a number of different low-key stories. Particularly it starts in the 2000s and ends up in the 2010s. So like one of the stories in here is Loki from 2004, which was 4 issues. You have Loki 2010 from 2010, that was 4 issues. And then one of the main stories, which is why I was really excited to pick this up, this has Loki, Agent of Asgard, and that's the story that was written by, I believe it was written by Al Ewing, and I heard nothing but great things about that story. And so I know that they released it in a trade paperback. I was gonna pick that up but couldn't for financial reasons or what have you. Didn't have funds at the time. When Marvel announced that they were going to be coming out with this omnibus and it had that story in here, that was one of my main reasons for picking this up, because I heard that story is phenomenal, and as somebody who enjoys Loki, Thor and Loki, this was a must buy for me. So I'm definitely happy to have this in collection. If you're somebody that's a Loki fan and you want Loki stories, modern Loki stories, then this is definitely a book that you should consider picking up, and definitely can't wait to dive into it. Now the next books that are part of the collection is a set. It's a 2-part set because it's 2 books, and these are books that have been on my radar for a long time. At one point these were out of print. I remember when I was getting into the collected editions game, particularly collecting omnibuses back in 2017, 2018, when I started my first channel, what have you. I remember these books were out of print. They were gone for a long time. I mean, years. Matter of fact, they were gone before I even got into omnibuses. And so for the longest time, people were hoping that Marvel would reprint these books, and for the longest time it seemed like they didn't. Well, luckily they finally did reprint these books, and I'm glad to finally have it in the collection, and that is Fantastic Four. This is by Jonathan Hickman. This is volume 1, and then this is volume 2. And then just to give you a little bit of an idea on what the spines look like, this is what the spines look like when you match them together. So these are the spines. And so these are both the standard edition cover. Oh, and for the low-key Gods of Stories omnibus, that was the standard edition as well. And for these two, these are the standard editions for these books. These did come with DM variants, but I ended up getting the 2 standard editions. But these are books, man. I'm happy that Marvel finally reprinted. I was looking forward to these, and definitely happy to have them in a collection. Jonathan Hickman is one of those writers that I hear nothing but great things about his writing. Unfortunately, I haven't read any of Hickman's stuff, any of Hickman's material, so I didn't read Secret Wars or excuse me, I haven't read Secret Warriors or Secret Wars or the Avengers or Fantastic Four. I haven't read any of Jonathan Hickman's stuff material, but I hear nothing but great things about it. And it's also too kind of great timing that I'm showing these off. Granted, I picked these up last year, September of last year to be exact. I got these from, I believe I got these from CheapGraphicNovels, if I'm not mistaken. I got all these books from different places. I didn't get it from one particular place. I got it from 3 different places. But it's cool that now, even though I purchased these a while ago, now I'm getting a chance to show them off to you guys because, of course, it was recently announced the casting of Fantastic Four for the MCU, which I didn't get a chance to talk about because I was busy at the time and didn't get a chance to record a video or anything like that. But just my quick thoughts on it. I'm excited. I'm excited for the Fantastic Four in the MCU. I like the casting. Granted, like many other people, the casting choices weren't my first. Like, the people that were picked wasn't my first choice exactly as far as who I envisioned for the Fantastic Four. But I am happy with who they did pick, because sometimes, even though it may not be the choice that you want, sometimes a lot of times it ends up being the choice that ends up being the best one. And so, I'm definitely looking forward to it. I'm a fan of all of the actors that are in this upcoming FF movie. So I like Pedro Pascal, like Vanessa Kirby. I really like Vanessa Kirby. I like Joseph. Joseph Quinn. That's his name. Joseph Quinn. Of course, he was in Stranger Things as Eddie, and then Ian Moss Backrack. I like him as well. Love him, especially in The Bear. Love him in The Bear. Really good actor. And he also too was Microchip in The Punisher. In the Punisher series starring John Berthal, the Netflix series or what have you. He was Microchip, and he was pretty good in that role as well. But overall, man, I'm happy to have this in the collection to add to my FF omnibuses. I have volume 1 of Jack Kirby, Stanley and Jack Kirby. I have the Mark Waid and Mike Wieringo omnibuses, and so I'm glad to add this to the collection. And like I said, perfect timing. I'll definitely try to read these before 2025. And I just hope, well, I have a feeling that this will be a good movie. I'll just say that. I think that this will be the FF movie that we've all been kind of hoping for. Now, will it be the greatest thing since sliced bread? Probably not. But, I mean, the bar's been set so low for the Fantastic Four when it comes to the movies. Because, I'm sorry, those movies were garbage. Those movies sucked. If you enjoy those films, more power to you. As somebody who likes the Fantastic Four, I was not a fan of those films. But I'm definitely looking forward to this Fantastic Four movie, and I think that this will be the one that finally gets it right. But that's my thoughts on the Fantastic Four casting, because like I said, didn't get a chance to talk about it. And as far as these go, yes, can't wait to dive into Jonathan Hickman's Fantastic Four. And speaking of Jonathan Hickman, I do have that. I do have Secret Warriors, but it's packed up somewhere. But I'll show that off probably when I get a chance to unbox it, and I'll show that off in a different haul video. But last but not least, these are the final books of the haul. This is also a 2-part set or a 2-book set. These are some books that I've definitely been excited for and been looking forward to, and I'm happy that Marvel actually came out with these books, because for the longest time they were in complete collections, thick trade paperbacks, but some of those books went out of print and they were hard to find. So I'm happy Marvel made these in omnibus format, and that is What If, the original Marvel series omnibus. And so this is 2 volumes. So this is volume 1. And then this is volume 2. Yep. And so when you put them together, this is what the spines look like. So you get a good shot of those spines. Volume 2 is a little bit thicker than Volume 1 because it collects a little bit more material than Volume 1 does. But this series right here, like I said, is something I've been looking forward to since Marvel announced it. I am a fan of, multiverse type of stories in comics. Like, I mean, I'm a fan of like Elseworlds when it comes to like DC, and when it comes to Marvel, I like their, what if and stuff like that. I like multiverse type of stories. I'm one of those people that enjoys that, because what's cool about multiverse stories is that you get to pick and choose and kind of play around with different ideas and stuff. And if it works, you can integrate it into the actual main continuity. And if it doesn't work, you can just kind of, chalk it as a loss and just say, well, it's something we tried. It just didn't work out, and you don't have to worry about it anymore. And so that's why I like multiverse stories, because it gives people a chance, particularly writers, it gives them a chance, an opportunity to really kind of, create and write, and it allows them a certain creative freedom, to whereas if they were writing something in continuity, they would have to be basically held down from the standpoint of maybe there's certain ideas or certain stuff that they want to work on, certain ideas that they have, but maybe they can't do it because it'll affect the continuity, or it'll cause retcons and things of that nature, and the editorial doesn't like it, the fans don't like it, all that type of bullshit or what have you. And so that's why I like Elseworld stories and multiverses, because it allows writers to pick and choose and play around with ideas, and if the idea works, it can stay, and if it doesn't, you just kind of push it to the side. But it allows a certain creative freedom and creative liberty that writing main continuity stories might not allow. But as far as that goes, I say all that to say I'm really excited for What If. Like I said, this is the original Marvel series. This was the series that started in 1977 and that ended in 1984. And this was 47 issues. And so it went on for about 5 years or so, 5-6 years. And overall, I hear a lot of really good things about this series, and a lot of stories in here ended up becoming a part of the main Marvel continuity. And so things that are part of continuity now, some of that spans from What If. And so I think that's pretty cool and pretty awesome. I also heard too that I know for sure that there is another What If that came out in the late 80s, and from the late 80s going into the 90s, and that run lasted much longer than this one did. And so I think that one's called like What If Into the Multiverse, something like that. And so that collects the second What If series that started, like I said, in like 1989 all the way up until like 98, 99. And so I hear that series, or I've been told that series is actually a bit better than this one. But either way, I'm excited for these. And as somebody who enjoys the What If cartoon in the MCU, this was a no-brainer for me. This was a must-buy. I enjoyed the What If cartoon. I enjoyed the What If series. I am looking forward to diving into the comics and getting a chance to read them. And very excited about that. And this is something I'm definitely looking forward to doing a review on. This is the direct market cover. This is the direct market cover for Volume 1, and then this is the standard for Volume 2. These were the covers that I chose. These were the ones that I enjoyed the most, that covers that stood out to me. You had the Mighty Thor, Jane Foster. What if Jane Foster became Thor? Wink, wink. And then you, of course, what if Wolverine had killed the Incredible Hulk? So definitely excited for those books. Definitely can't wait to dive into them. But that is the haul, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you all enjoyed the video. I hope you all enjoyed the haul. If you did, do me a huge favor, hit that thumbs up button. It helps me out a lot, lets me know that you all are enjoying the videos and enjoying the content overall. But speaking of the content, if you enjoy what you see, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and join the family, join the club. I will be trying to post more content. I got some more stuff in the bag or what have you. Got some more stuff in the vault I'm still working on, and hopefully that stuff will be ready to go in a little bit. And so until next, before I forget to, also to follow me on social media. I will leave my social medias in the description box, and I'll also have it in the pinned comment, and it's also too in my channels section. There's a link where you go and you click it more, and you'll see my links and everything pop up. So if you're on Twitter, if you're on Threads, if you're on Instagram, please go ahead and give me a follow there, and you can keep up with me there, because I'm pretty active on social media outside of YouTube, of course. And with that being said, thank y'all so much for tuning in. Thank y'all so much for watching. And until next time, take care, everybody. Be safe and have a good one.